In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use logic blocks in HTML content. So we can put a logic block in a header, we can put it in any piece of HTML content on our site. So let's look here. We have a very simple landing page, and this is built with Elementor. So I'm just going to jump in and take a look at what we have here. And it's important to note that even though we're using Elementor, this will work with Beaver Builder, it will work in Gutenberg, any other page builder, and also in the classic editor as well. So what we have here is our title, and it's looking for off-road adventure. Now what we want to do is grab a logic block and put that into place. So here we have a very simple logic block. It's called truck brand. And you'll see it says if always display, condition met. So that means this is just going to always display. And all that it's doing is it's displaying the content and awesome. Well, let's see what this does. If I copy this and I come into our page and I'm just going to put this in. Now it says looking for, and then we have that block, off-road adventure, and I click update. When I go to the page and reload, it now says looking for an awesome off-road adventure. Now you'll notice that this does break this out onto 3 lines, and that's something we're going to see how to solve in just a minute. But let me show you another technique that we can do for dynamic content replacement. I'm going to jump into my conditions for a moment, and I have a pre-built condition. This condition is very simple. It's called brand query string exists, and the description is if brand query string exists. So we're looking for a query string that is just brand. This could also be a UTM code if you'd like, but just to simplify it, we're just calling it brand. And then we've set the parameter to be is not. And then I've just let the value empty. So that basically is asking the question if the query string brand is not empty. So what this is going to do is allow us to display content when that query string exists. So to use this in our logic block, I'm going to come here and just change this to if brand query string exists, and then I'm going to say else. So this is going to be else, it's going to display an awesome, and then here we want to display the brand name. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this to be a, and then space, and then I'm going to add a data variable. And this will allow us to use a logic hop variables, and I'm simply going to select query for query string, and I'm going to replace this with brand. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set the text case to capitalize words. So regardless of how this brand name comes in the query string, we're always going to capitalize the words. So I just click insert variable, and you'll see that that puts that in place. I go ahead and update this. And if I come to the landing page, it already says an awesome off-road adventure, but now if I add brand, and then I have brand equals Toyota, looking for a Toyota off-road adventure. And you can see I have Toyota in lowercase, and that is going to properly format it so it's in the uppercase for the proper name of Toyota. Now we did talk about this breaking onto multiple lines, so let's take a look at how to fix that. I'm going to just highlight this in the web inspector, and we're going to see that this is in a div, and it's called logic hop condition. Let me just scroll up so we can see what we're looking at here. And you'll see what was our short code gets rendered as a div. Now you'll notice that this is logic hop condition as a class, logic hop JS as a class, and then logic hop dash visible. This is what we're looking for. This logic hop dash visible gets appended to that div once that piece of content is visible. So I'm going to target this by grabbing the H2 element, and I'm just going to grab Elementor CTA underscore title, and I'm going to close this. And when I come back to that page, I can come and click the settings for the page and go to advanced, and you'll see we have custom CSS. Now I do have a little piece of custom CSS in here. I'm just setting the masthead ID, which is the header portion of this theme, to display none, just to get it out of the way. But what I want to do is I want to come in and paste that Elementor-CTA underscore title, and then I'm going to do dot logic hop dash visible. And this is going to just target the short codes that are visible that are within Elementor-CTA title. If you wanted to do this for all of the ones on the page, you could just target that. But I'm going to do just within that title. Now all that I need to do is set the display to inline, and I do need to give this the exclamation point important. Semicolon. And now what this is going to do is set anything within the class Elementor-CTA _title with the class LogicHopVisible to display inline, which will put it as an inline element and should put that content on a single line. Let me go ahead and click Update. And then if we reload our page here, you'll see looking for a Toyota off-road adventure. Now if I get rid of this query string, there we go, looking for an awesome off-road adventure. So this is just one little snippet of code that you need to add to format your logic blocks as inline elements. And just a note that you could add this globally to your style sheet. This is just one way that Elementor supports adding styles for specific pages, but this could be made global for your entire site. So if you just wanted it globally, you could just set LogicHop-visible display inline important. So I hope this is helpful as a technique for you to work with LogicHop shortcodes as inline content in HTML elements. If you have any questions, shoot us an email at info@logichop.com.